What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. This is our on week with David and Brandon, and they have something pretty interesting to talk about. You can tell they're in a slightly different location than usual. Yeah, I remember that. I still have mine. That's so funny. But yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about what they're doing here in a second. But as usual, guys, we want to get some of the formalities out of the way first. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in on this Monday night Corvette Weekly Live. These are every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every other Monday, we'll have Brandon and David on here, and usually it's just me and Amber or just myself, depending on if she could get off work. But anyway, the sponsor of tonight's video and every Monday Night Live is NCM Insurance. So if you click on the link in the description down below, you can actually go through and have them give you an insurance quote. And on step number 5, it's going to ask you, where did you hear about us? And you're going to say horsepower obsessed. And when you do,
right,
it actually gives you a little bit more of a discount. So I actually saw it physically happen at Carlisle. You actually will get a little bit more of a discount if you say you heard about us from Horsepower Obsessed. So be sure to check that link out in the description down below. Click on the link, run through step number 5, say Horsepower Obsessed, and save some money on your car insurance. These guys over here, they both have it. They save a bunch of money. I've talked to a bunch of you guys in the comment section. You guys save a bunch of money. There's literally no drawback. You might as well try it. Worst case scenario, they can't beat your current insurance provider, but it costs you 20 seconds of your time to fill out the form. There's no fee. There's no hit on your credit or anything. You might as well give it a shot. Outside of that, I do want to really quickly mention the giveaway. Yes, giveaway of a C8 Corvette ZR1. So this one is at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. So basically you come over here and you can actually donate some money. And in this case, you'll get a 20% bonus entry. So instead of your 18 entries, you'll actually get 22 just for clicking on the link, again, in the description down below. Now, this is the 2025 Corvette ZR1 with a ZTK performance package. It's all the good options here. It is obviously in competition yellow. You could possibly win one of these things before they're even available to buy. So check out the link down there. But if that one's not quite for you, if you're not quite a competition yellow guy, there's another one in the link down below as well that is torch red with the ZTK package. And this one actually gives you 50% bonus entries. So if you go to enter, normally it's 18. And in this case, you're going to get 9 additional bonus entries just for clicking on the link in the description down below. So if you want a torch red one or a competition yellow one, either way, you could potentially win a ZR1 before they're even available to buy. Check out the links in the description down below, guys. I'd love to see one of you win this. I think it would be insane to come on here one Monday night and have somebody in the comment section talking about how they were the one that won that car. I think that would be just fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I actually entered that one for the torch red one because we met the guy at Carlisle that actually won.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, all right. And then when the torch red one came out, I was like, I'm going to enter because that guy was like, yeah, I won the Z06.
Dude,
we were like, wait,
how
what?
crazy is that? Because he put $2,000 into it. And
yes.
It wasn't a Z06, it was a Stingray, but he won.
Oh, the Stingray.
He won a car worth about $100,000 for $2,000.
Right.
Could you imagine? Right. I mean, like if I entered something like that and won a Stingray, even owning a Z06, if I won a Stingray, like,
oh yeah,
I would be ecstatic.
Especially for $2,000. You know how much money that leaves for a built motor, turbos, built transmission.
Right. You literally have a car worth $100,000 that you put $2,000 into. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna talk about a little bit of who's in the chat section here today. So a lot of the same names as usual. Volume up. I don't know if I can put my volume up much higher without blowing this thing out, but I'll put it up a little bit. How about you guys?
Is it our volume or is it Justin's volume?
I'm gonna turn you guys up too. So
maybe I'll pull the mic closer.
Yeah, pull it a little closer. Not too close, it'll pop out.
Professor Corvette says NCM Insurance needs a mascot. They have one. It's called an HPO.
That's right. That's right.
But no, it's like a little gecko or emu. What's up, Jeremy?
You know, next time I go up there, I'm going to take one of your pictures up and tell Nate to hang it as the mascot.
You should. That would be hilarious.
I will.
And it would be even funnier if they actually did it. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. So...
They should be, because between everybody that's on here that has it, that we've been pumping it, man, they should be. You should be up there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, G. Smith, your ZR1 is in PA right now. I almost took a picture of it today. I was up at Blackout Tinning, and they had it sitting up there. Believe it or not, there was your ZR1, and then there was 2 C8 Corvettes sitting inside. One was getting ceramic coating, the other one was getting some custom vinyl on the top. And I'm like, man, it's Corvette day up here. But yeah. So anyway, guys, let's talk real quickly about where Brandon and David are at. You guys can tell they're not at their normal place, and it's actually pretty convenient to have you both on one screen at a time. I think maybe we should try to do this from now on. How actually, before we go into that, how close do you two actually live together? Like, not at all?
Not close.
Oh, I thought
2 hours on a great day.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were lived on like the same freaking grounds.
No,
Wow.
Yeah.
dude, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Man,
No, we work really close to each
Yeah.
other, like
Yeah.
you know, within a few miles. But yeah.
Like 2 hours on a great day. Some days it
Man,
could be 3.
I thought you guys were super close. But anyway, so that's not going to happen, I guess. But that would have been pretty cool.
We never know.
So they are at Ron Fellows. Is this the
Yes,
first
we
time?
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time at Ron Fellows.
First.
Tell us a little bit about how do you feel about it?
Well, I mean, a couple interesting things that we found out today. One, they said they're up to like 40 cars now.
Yeah,
I don't know how many they had.
40 Zs.
Justin.
40
Yeah,
Zs.
40 Z06s.
I
And
think
it said several hundred. Obviously,
They had either 12 or 18 whenever I was there.
Yeah, they're up to 40 something, he said now.
So we got like groups of, I think it's like 5 or 6. There's like 3 groups that are going out at a time, which is pretty wild. But so far, this is awesome. I tell you what, though, it's a big kick in the butt when you think you're decent at driving a car.
Yep.
You think you're fast.
You get humbled really quick. I know I've been humbled today,
Dude,
nonstop. So.
I got
nonstop.
I got in the car and I said whenever I did this video, a wrap up of Ron Fellows, I said, the second you step into that car, you realize just how little you know about driving, because they will tell you every single thing you're doing wrong, and they do it in a really nice way too. Like they're not like busting you up or anything.
No. They're amazing.
Complimentary about it.
Yeah.
I will say though, this guy, the one who never lifts and never brakes, was like perfect 4 for 4 on the wet braking. Perfect. I was murdering cones left and right. I can't wait to see the PDR footage with the cones smacked on the screen.
Well, you know what's funny is that whenever they did that first, the wet braking, I thought the way that they described it initially, I thought the goal was to hit a cone like the first time. So when I went through, I was like, bam, I smashed a cone. I was like, yeah. And then I get out and they're like, yeah, so that's not what you want to do. And I'm like, what?
Right. Well, I did it twice. And the guy who's standing back there signaling when you go to hit brake and turn, you know, the look on his face when I hit the cones the second time and he had to dig it out from underneath the front of the car, I was like, I know they're supposed to be nice, but he's bad.
Yeah. He's like, these idiots. I'm so tired of dealing with these people.
Yeah.
Again.
Justin, guess what color he's driving. What color is 06 David's got? I bet you'll guess it.
And I'm in love.
Sebring?
No, they don't have any Sebring.
Yeah, what's cacti?
Oh my God. What color
I'm not gonna ask.
I knew he was gonna have that reaction.
I'm not gonna ask you mine because you would never guess it like in a million years. But yeah, I've got probably not the worst color, but my least favorite color. I think so.
What is that? White?
Just the regular white.
That's
like
the one I drove.
white.
I knew you were going to say that. That's the one I drove.
I wanted a Z07 car, and so that was the closest one. That's the only thing that guaranteed me to get a Z07, so I just walked to that one first. So
I actually have a big picture thing right off camera here of my time at Ron Fellows that I bought, and you can see. Does yours have silver stripes on it?
No, mine's just straight white.
It's just white.
Yeah, it does have the CCBs and the full Z07 package, but that's it.
Oh, okay. Mine was a Z07 package car.
Yeah. No, I was like, man, I walked over and saw that thing. I was like, man, I'm getting in this cacti car. And they have all of them have the 3LZ interior. Like, they're all decked out, man. It's just, it looks so good.
So, 10 Seconds Z06 thought you guys lived 10 minutes apart as well. So, I don't know why. Like, I legitimately thought like there was this giant piece of land and your house was here and his house was here. Like,
well, I looked at the land next to his house.
Yeah,
the guy wants way too much money for it.
That might be in the future. We'll see.
It will be, yeah. That's the plan.
all right, so guys, what I want to talk about tonight is a lot of ZR1 / Zora stuff. But G Smith says, "Can you guys ask Ron if my 2-day training is still good for my ZR1?" Never got to. Nope. G Smith, they don't even have the ZR1 anymore, and I missed mine too. I bought mine in July of 19, and then when COVID hit in 20, like everything was so shut down, I didn't even have an option to fly out there. Like, it angers me that I missed that, because it's literally not even just I missed it for free. You missed it, period. Like, they don't even have those cars up there anymore.
Yep.
I haven't seen one.
Nope.
No, they don't have anything but the C8 Stingray and the Z06 now.
All,
And
yep.
They did have an E-Ray. The instructor drove one today.
I was just going to
Some
say.
E-Rays popping up here.
Yeah, one of the instructors had an E-Ray today, so they're starting to get them.
Yeah, and they're starting to get times with it, so it'll be interesting to see what they get out of them.
I was wondering about that because I was under the impression they weren't going to get the E-Ray out there.
They got at least one because our instructor today had one.
Well, and then the other guy said they were getting them when you were asking questions about
Yeah,
that.
they're supposed to be getting more.
They're supposed to be getting more, so maybe they'll start doing E-Ray classes out here too. Yeah.
Okay. Wally Gator says, greetings, HPO community. Shout out from Florida. What's up, man? I'm going to be in Florida second week of October for the Supercar Saturday again. So if you guys want to come out to the Supercar Saturday show in Hollywood, Florida, so right across the street from my shop, I will be there again this upcoming show, which is always the second Saturday of every month. So I'll
It's a
be
good
there.
show.
It is an
It's
awesome
a good show.
Like the amount of cars.
There's so much high dollar stuff, bro.
Yeah. It's high dollar stuff, but it's also normal stuff too. Like,
oh yeah,
you get all the Corvettes, you get a bunch of BMW guys, some Toyota Supras,
a bunch of Mustang guys.
Yeah, Mustangs. There's motorcycles. There's
then there's a Bugatti.
Trucks. Yeah, and then there's a random SF90. Like that's just the way it works.
Well, the one I went to, they had not all. They had several of the actual F1 cars because it was like right before the F1 race in Miami.
Yep.
So they had some of the F1 cars. That was awesome.
Yeah, Amber says, I missed the ZR1 and the C8 Stingray. I did because I bought both of them right around the time that COVID was a thing. And so I literally couldn't go out to the Ron Fellows for my ZR1 or the C8 Stingray. So whenever I got it for the Z06, I said, I'm getting out. I don't care what happened. If I have to walk to Vegas, I'm getting there. Like,
well, and we brought it up too since they had more cars. Was just that because I said to the one guy, Rico, he's one of the head guys out here. I was like, it's so hard to get in. You're so popular. The people that buy cars are still competing with people that want to buy in that haven't bought a car.
Right.
And I was like, now that you have more cars, you're going to look into prioritizing people that have bought cars for them to get spots. And he said they were talking about now that they have more cars doing separate days just for
and that's
people that
probably
buy
what
them.
they should do. Yeah.
Yeah. He did say that today.
G. Smith says, thumbs up do not match the views. Kind of ticks me off. I'll tell you what, man. It really takes me off.
Come on now.
Come on, guys. Let's smash the thumbs up. Let's get to 100 by 8 o'clock. That's 13 minutes from now. Go crazy, guys. Smash the thumbs up. Let's hit 200 today. Brandon and David are at Ron Fellows. Like, seriously, like, they're excited. Let's be excited for them. Smash the thumbs ups.
Yeah, smash the thumbs up. We get 200. I'll go off track tomorrow.
We got a track in our background right now.
Actually, yeah, we got the track was right, and what the other one they were running the C8s on is like right behind us. We were gonna do the live stream from the balcony, but it's blazing hot.
Yeah,
the desert.
It's 100 plus.
We were like, nah, screw that. Man.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, let's see where we at. So usually whenever we jumped 10. Let's get up to 100, guys. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up. We're gonna talk a little bit about some ZR1 information here shortly. And actually, before we do, what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna play for you a really cool ZR1 video that just came out today. It's kind of like an interview with Mary Barra, but they're showing a lot of really cool ZR1 stuff happening. Brandon and David, you guys probably aren't going to be able to hear the audio, but you'll be able to see the video.
All right.
So let me play that for you real quick. And while that's rolling, guys, let's smash the crap out of these thumbs ups, okay?
Yeah, come on, guys.
Let's see. I believe we are here. Let's do this. Yeah, there she is. All right, here we go.
Road. Even an honest-to-goodness racetrack.
Ready? Yeah, let's jump in. Let's do it.
Tony Roma is the executive chief engineer for Corvette. He took us for a spin in the new ZR1 with 1,064 horsepower and a top speed over 200 miles per hour. It's the fastest Corvette ever.
So is this a normal day at work for you? Yeah, I wish, right?
On this day, we managed to hit 170.
With all of the computer modeling you guys do now, why is any of this necessary?
Yeah, you still need to stress the components to correlate the model.
Every detail of the ZR1 is being perfected here at Milford,
I
from
don't
the
think
handling to that signature Corvette sound.
We put a lot of effort into the sound, the startup sound, the sound when it's accelerating. We'll do 50 or 60 different iterations. It's like tuning an instrument, you know.
The ZR1 is looking nice. ZR1 is looking
Nasty.
awesome. The 360 it did, and the way it sounds driving around, I mean, it sounds good. So,
well, and it coming down that straight, that is blistering
Dude,
fast.
yeah.
Oh my god,
I
blistering.
I'm kind of like, it's hard to get as excited for this car as I was for the Z06, but that video right there actually kind of got me excited again. So, I think.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's good stuff. I think this thing is going to be an absolute blast. Now, the one thing I keep saying in all these live videos is that they're not done with this car. They're not even like I don't want to say half done, but they're still testing it. Just like Tony Roma said, they're literally still putting it through its paces. They're testing out the exhaust differences to try to make it as good sounding as possible. Note that it's going to never sound as good as the Z06. It just can't because of the turbos. It's just not going to happen. But they can make it sound pretty good, and as you heard, it still sounds pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad sounding car. It's just not a Z06. But
and that's the one thing I'll say today, everybody, that starting a stock Z06 after this guy's car,
yeah, it's almost
I'm
boring.
like,
yeah,
it is. It's
I
like,
know.
boom.
Me and
When I was
Jeremy,
like,
2020 Matrix 8, were just talking about this because he put his car back to stock and then recently put the catless pipes on like Brandon has, and it's just so. I heard one start not too long ago at the Supercar Saturday, and I was like, man, I used to really like that. I thought the stock sound was great. Now I'm like, it's kind of boring.
Exactly. That's exactly what I felt today too. I was like, no, no, because even mine, like I still have the stock cast, but it sounds better. But when I started it, I was like, what?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm usually behind him in his car. When he starts his, I can barely hear mine. And when he started in front of me, I didn't know he started his car today. So I was like,
Yeah, that's crazy how much a difference it is.
like,
Yeah,
your car is
it's
the
huge.
loudest one ever. Yep.
What's up, Squirrel? Squirrel Cage? Ken, how you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in. I actually do have an allocation for a C8 ZR1, so, and it is at MSRP. So as long as the price is right, it will be happening. Fingers crossed. We'll see. Because I've talked to a couple people, one person specifically at Corvettes of Carlisle that said they are going to be buying my car for the price that I want. So this could happen, assuming the price that GM brings out the ZR1 at is reasonable.
You know what, too, Justin? I'm in the exact same boat, but my reasonable marker keeps getting moved the more I find out about the car. Like it started, and I was like, man, if it's
my
this,
reasonable,
now I'm like,
10 years
Reasonable's
ago.
going to have a 2 in front of it, I think.
Oh, it's going to. Well,
I mean,
without a doubt.
realistically, it's going to have a 2.
Yeah, but it keeps getting kind of moved
No more ones.
as it goes.
My reasonable, not even 10 years ago, literally, it was about 9 years ago. My reasonable was under 60 grand.
60 was a Gen 4 Viper when I bought it used was under 60.
Yeah.
And that to me was like outrageous.
I bought a brand new 2014 Camaro ZL1. It was like 56 and some change. It about bankrupted me. And it was like, this is it. Like, I can't go any higher than this on price. This is as high as I can go. And now
my first Corvette, I paid $4,500 for.
Yeah, exactly.
A C4. It was a 1985 C4, $4,500.
Yeah.
And I love that car just as much as I love my
And the C5 Z06 you just saw, I remember when C5 Z06s were like 19 grand.
Yeah.
For a nice car. Now they're 30.
Brandon, what you just said at the end there, though, when you were about to say that it was you love that car just as much as you love the C8 Z06, that's the big thing here. Is like you don't have to spend 200 grand on a Corvette to have fun with it.
No.
Right now, personally, I would not go any further back than a C5. But if you get a nice, clean C5 Z06, especially like an 03, 04, you are going to have a massive amount of fun with that car. And you can find those for 25-ish, which is not a bad price at all for a car that you're going to have so much fun with.
And if you get one that's in good shape, you're what? Cams, heads, headers away from a monster at what they weigh.
Yep.
Like, really, you can pick up 150.
They're still competitive.
They're still competitive. 150 horsepower with cams, heads, and then headers.
That's the thing is, like, I just compared the C8 Z06 to the C7 Z06. Those cars are so closely comparable at roughly 70 grand in between them. Like a 70 grand swing. Like you could get a C7 Z06 and still easily compete with a C8 Z06, especially since the C7s can be tuned. Like you
Well,
could
hasn't
drop,
Cam's C6 Z06
Yeah,
will
I'm saying,
compete with
exactly.
that car as well?
I'm just gonna
Still,
say,
even
yeah.
still today, because of 3,200 pounds
Yeah.
and
Yep.
600 wheel horse with Hasn't
I-
Cam.
Yes,
I
those
have
cars
another-
don't sleep on them.
I have another video coming here probably next week or the following week sometime. I'm going to film it next week. Is a friend of mine has a C6 ZR1 he just bought. I'm going to do the same video with a C6 and a C7 ZR1. Because again, there's a fair amount of money difference between the two, but do you have to do it? I already know the answer. The answer is no. You don't have to do it because you can you could put the difference in money into the power on the C6 ZR1 and easily beat a C7 ZR1. So these prices
you can
keep
walk
going up.
anything if you put the right package on a seat. You can walk anything.
If I'm spending 60 grand right now, or 60 to 70, I'm buying a C6 ZR1 all day long. That's the car I'm buying for 60 grand.
All day long.
See,
because you're 20 grand in, and then you're 900 to 1,000 wheel horsepower on E85, and it's so fast.
For 60, I agree, but if I'm paying 60 to 60 or 70 to 75, I'm getting a C7 Z06. And the only reason I say that is because I love the C6, but there's just something that stops me from just like going crazy with it the way I would a C7. Like the C7 has always been like my true love. That's the car that got me into Corvettes as much as I am. Like as a kid, I used to push around the C4s and the C5s and stuff, and I loved that. But like the Corvette never spoke to me the way it does now until the C7. So the C6.
I think Brandon and I kind of feel like the C7's kind of like lost something, right? Like I mean, I still think the C6 is
from a motor's perspective, I just feel like it's so much easier power wise.
Yeah.
C6
No, you're right. The LS engines are far easier to mod.
And so from that perspective, that's why interior wise, like obviously
that's
definitely
that's where I'm at. Is the quality difference is you feel like you're getting a better car, even if it's not. It feels.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But it doesn't take much to get a C7 Z06 up to 1,000 horsepower either. Like don't sleep on that. Yeah.
Those are easy to mod as well. And if you throw, I mean, 70 grand difference between the C7 and the C8. If you throw 20 grand at the C7, you're gonna have a car that destroys the C8. And the C8 Z06 right now can't even be tuned, so there's really nothing you could do outside of exhaust, cats, and an intake. And I guess what this crazy guy's about to do too.
Yeah.
Attempt.
Hey, we got it, man. We're doing it.
David,
we're doing it.
You remember what I told you, right?
Yeah. I'm telling you, we're doing it, bro. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Wait. It's gonna be
bye-bye warranty.
Supercharged G-Ray's gonna be there. C8 Cody's gonna be there. Timmer's gonna be there.
I have a feeling awesome. I just have a feeling you're gonna blow that engine up, Brandon. I don't know.
No, why. I'm starting with 100 shot. It's gonna be 100 shot is nothing. And then 150 shot.
What was Mike saying?
Alex wants me to do a 200 shot.
Yeah, Alex is confident in a 200 shot.
I'm not doing a 200. I'm just telling you right now, it's not going to happen. But 150.
Okay.
150, I'll do 100. I think it's nothing to that motor.
Justin, your prediction. Your prediction is your prediction.
Yeah.
I'm not blowing it up.
And here's my prediction because I know this man. Okay, here's my prediction. 100. Oh, I like that. 150. Then it's
200. Yeah. Well, either way, David, if he does end up doing that, my prediction still comes true.
Well, I think maybe I'll blow the trans or the clutches, but I don't think I'll blow the motor. I think that motor's solid. I think
Brandon,
that block
you have
the ZR1.
He has the calmest way of saying, "Yeah, I'm about to completely blow up my $150,000 car," but
no.
Fun.
But again, it's all him, right? Like today when we're lined up for the skid pad, the first guy goes, he does this thing, whatever else. They're waiting. I'm sitting right behind him. I've got it on GoPro, like because my reaction. He just takes off. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, Brandon didn't even wait for the instructor. He just fucking took off.
I feel like there's a lot of time went by. I was like, I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Yeah. A lot of time went by. Yeah, like, they haven't set up this way for a reason, man. All right. So, so that video I showed you guys, that is basically the full video of the ZR1. There's no additional ZR1 content in that video. The video itself is talking a lot about electric cars and stuff, and then they talk about the ZR1. I kind of skipped over the electric car stuff. But if you want to see the full video, it is on the CBS Sunday Morning YouTube channel. So, but if you just want to see the ZR1 stuff that's in that video, you just saw it. That's all that's in there. Yeah. Let's see. So let's talk a little bit about some of the ZR1 stuff. So over at the Mid-Engine Corvette forum, there is a post here made by a friend of mine. You guys might know him, Jeremy Wellborn. He made a post talking about why he believes the Zora powertrain will be a 1,200 plus horsepower LT7 hybrid. Now, we talked about this in a recent live video where we were discussing the fact that the Zora option is likely to be a checkbox for the ZR1. And it was because some of the pictures that were taken over at the Nurburgring of the Zora and the ZR1 testing kind of showed a Zora with the hatch popped, and you could see the side mounted throttle bodies on an LT7 engine. So the Zora car has an LT7 engine in it for sure. Whether or not it's still turbocharged, not sure, but I'm like 90% sure it's the same engine. So very likely an LT7 with the turbos and just the hybrid motor from the E-Ray up front, possibly maybe even reworked a little bit to be even more powerful than it is in the E-Ray. But worst case scenario, an extra 160 horsepower plus all-wheel drive. So Jeremy goes on to say why he believes that that is the case, and obviously we're in the same mindset. We believe that that's the case as well. But the big thing here is, of course, you're seeing a ZR1. The body is identical to a ZR1 with the ZTK package, the big wing, the ground effects, all of it's the same as the ZR1. The only real difference, the wheels are the same, the brakes are the same. The only real difference is, of course, the hybrid battery cooler up front. He goes through all these different areas here and shows you why on the ZR1 there is still room to have that hybrid motor and everything. So a lot of the stuff that we already believe is being discussed in this thread, and actually I'm pretty sure I commented in here too. Yeah, I did. So obviously an awesome analysis, but at the end of the day, I'm still on the side that believes that the Zora is going to be a performance checkbox for the ZR1 to maintain that. ZR1 being the most expensive C8 Corvette yet. So that's the way to do it. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of discussion out there. So I don't want to lead anybody astray here in me talking about this as fact, because it's not. This is my opinion, and this will remain my opinion until the car comes out. I do believe it's going to be a checkbox for the ZR1, and a lot of people believe the same thing after we had talked about some of the things showing that as kind of fact. Even though,
or even the Taj saying the ZR1 is going to be the most expensive car. Of course it is if it's a checkbox, right?
Right.
You can't. He didn't say Zora was going to be the most expensive, so.
I think they're going to have, if that's the way they do it, I think they're going to have heating and cooling problems with that car. If it's already got 15 heat exchangers on the ZR1 itself, and then you're throwing in the E-Ray heat exchangers, they're already like 2-3 deep, and you're trying to lap that car. I don't know. I'm sure the engineers are smart. I'm sure they've got a way to figure this out, but I mean, just all the heat that's going to generate by itself with just that LT7, I just can't imagine throwing in front end battery, electric motor heat, and then you're trying to heat exchange that too.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree, but my concern is the outboard cooling those are not radiators, those are condensers. So the outboard are condensers. Now the center part now is 2 stacked intercoolers for the turbochargers. So both turbo basically has pretty much its own intercooler in the center. The outboard ones where the cooler for the battery is are condensers. Those are not actually radiators. That's what GM said about at least the Stingray. So unless that's changed, the Stingray had condensers on the outsides. With that said, I don't think that would necessarily cause a problem with overheating, but GM has always had their hands full with forced induction on Corvette with heat issues. So the C7 Corvette Z06, for example, if you got an automatic, you were not going to be pushing that car very hard on the track. You would overheat it. And even after 2017, when they fixed the issue, it still was there. So the automatics generate more heat, and of course the C8 only comes in an automatic, and now with a dual clutch transmission, it probably generates even more heat than the C7 was generating with its torque converter. So you could absolutely be right. Hopefully you're not, because I'd like to see this car just come out and be an absolute decimation for everything else in that price range. which I feel like is going to be the case even if it does have an overheating issue, because you can at least decimate it for the first lap or two.
Yeah.
They did. I hope they learned their lesson, because I put a. You remember I put a C7 Z06 into limp mode on a test drive.
Yeah.
I went to look at a used
Yeah.
one, and I got on it, and it went right
Just
into
one pass, wasn't it?
And see,
Didn't you just do one hit?
there's
it was a long hit, but I just did one hit on it, and it went into limp mode. And I
there's,
sent a
there's
picture
something to
off
be
to
said about
Dad.
that though, because do you remember what year that was?
It was before they fixed it.
Okay, so it was
15.
probably
Yeah,
a 15 or
15
16
model before they fixed
And it was
the lid.
That was an automatic, right?
No, I thought you were.
No, it's a manual shark gray, 2015.
So two things right off the bat. I physically heard the engineers from GM at Carlisle in 2019 or 2018 talking about the fact that there is no documented example of a C7 Z06 manual transmission overheating. Not one. Now apparently there
I
is.
did.
But-
I
but
did a long pull.
The second thing is,
But it was used, so there's variables, obviously.
Professor Corvette, if they're not, they need to be very soon. So
Look at the
Professor
comments.
Corvette says, is Mountain Dew an HBO sponsor yet? I'm going to do the same thing I do every time.
Can you tag Mountain Dew
You should
somehow?
be tagging
Like
it.
an
Yeah.
hashtag Mountain Dew on your comment?
I should. But no, so to get back to it, no documented example of the C7 Z06 with a manual overheating. But more importantly, no documented example of even the automatic C7 Z06 overheating outside of the track. So they were insistent you would not overheat this car on the street. Now, I don't doubt what David is saying, but what I do think is odds are very good that car had an issue with the supercharger coolant, because
Here's what I
the
think.
C7 Z06s in general, even the C7 ZR1, they are extremely difficult to fill the supercharger coolant reservoir, because if you literally don't put it under a vacuum, you are not filling it, and there's air bubbles in there. Then the electric pump cavitates, and then it's not pumping any fluid at all. It overheats, sends it into limp mode, which is what happened to David.
And also remember, what do dealerships like to do with their cars? What octane do they like to put
Exactly.
in every car? They don't know.
You're
They
probably
put
running with 87 octane. It was probably not.
And what
like a
happens to
mofo.
timing and the heat? It all goes up. It pulls timing, heat goes up, and then they throws into that mode.
Yep.
I think they had 87 in it, and maybe the air pocket.
The air pockets. That's what we were saying. Yeah. But I literally took a picture and sent it to Brandon. I was like, I just put it in the limp mode on the test drive.
Yeah.
And I probably put the salesman in limp mode because it was a long pull.
Oh, he
And
was
Dana's-
with you.
you said Dana's is a
He was
17,
with- That's great. Oh, my God. The last time I can remember doing something like that, I was a kid, and I'm sure my dad's probably watching this, but I was a kid. I remember this. We went and test drove a Trans Am. It was I don't remember if it was a WS6 or whatever. What is
Oh,
it?
I love those. Oh.
Yeah. Those are still cool
The
cars.
W6.
And
Still
we
to
went
this
and test
day.
drove. It was a black Trans Am, and I remember, of course, they wouldn't let you test drive these cars without a salesman with you. My dad gets in and immediately just floors it. I'm in the back seat, salesman, and the salesman's like one of these things where you could tell this guy is not comfortable at all. And it was that's my last experience with that, because anytime I've ever test drove a car, the salesmen don't really go with you anymore. They usually let you take it on.
No,
trip.
this guy, I think this guy was like, just because it was a Z06, whenever he went,
Yeah.
and he was a younger guy. Because when I got on it, I was like, hey, I'm gonna do a good pull. I want to make sure that everything. So he's like, okay, go for it. And I don't think he understood what I was asking. But to your story, one of my friends in Pittsburgh, when I was much younger, bought a WS6 Trans Am, a black one. And he went to the dealership and he tested. And this guy's mom like raced Porsches and stuff. So like this kid grew up heel toeing, like knew all this stuff. When we got on to the interstate, and he went on and he basically drifted it the entire on ramp onto
Nice.
the interstate, and then straightened it out and just took off like a bullet. It was one of the funniest things. We brought it back. It just stunk of brakes and rubber and heat. And they're like, do you want it? He's like, yeah, I'm buying it. He's like, but I'm not buying that one.
Yeah, exactly.
He walked away.
There's some
My-
people's cars you just don't buy.
No,
My-
no.
My buddy in 2002, it was like, that at the time was supposed to be the last Camaro, right? So he bought a Z28. It's supposed to be the last one. Off the showroom floor, it didn't even have 1,000 miles on it. We put nitrous on it. We actually ran the nitrous line out the windshield into the under the hood. Didn't even like run it through. Like it had nitrous in like 2 days.
Not even through the wall.
And it was a dry shot. It was a dry shot. A brand new car. Like he paid like 29 or 30,000 for it. At the time, it's like a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of
it was
money,
a
They were expensive.
decently optioned car. And I'm telling you, that thing smoked just about everything out there with just a 125 shot at the time in 2002. Now keep in mind what it's competing against.
Right.
But we hardly didn't lose a race. I mean, it was a monster on a dry 125 nitro shot with the line running outside the window. And
I was gonna say, so you see his Z06 at the track, and it's gonna have a line run from the front all the way to the back.
no, I'm doing it right. It'll be done
guys.
right.
No, it's gonna be done.
It's
Really
just stuff you
trick.
do
We
when
need
you're.
to start
kids, you know?
a YouTube channel called Trailer Park Racing. Like, just
Hey, that was about what it
let's
was.
put
That's
let's
exactly
put
the way
the-
we grew up.
It was even better. You had to do it on a monetary switch. So I had to activate the nitrous to
while
spin
he's
first.
driving.
So while he's driving, I would wait till
God.
second gear. He'd shift into second, then I'd hit the button so it wouldn't spin. And we won so many races that way. I'm not even shitting you. Like we won tons of races. But you could only do it if I was a passenger because I had to be control of the nitrous.
Hey, you laugh about redneck racing or whatever else. There's pictures of this guy in a swimming pool made in the back of a pickup truck.
Yeah.
All right, so like that's
You're
exactly
not
how we
helping
grew up.
the
Right?
case here, David. Okay.
No, I'm making it because that's exactly.
All right. So,
Yeah.
real quick, Seawolf Z06, who again, guys, he is a member of the channel. If you guys want to join the memberships, you guys get custom emojis. I
that's
know
why
it
they're
doesn't
showing
seem
the
like a
dreams.
cool thing, but somebody posted earlier here. I'm gonna pull it up on the screen because it was one of the coolest. I love seeing the custom emojis because I made a bunch of them for the members. If you want to support the channel, join the memberships on this channel. Seawolf Z06 did. And what it does is it actually highlights your name in the chat section here, so I'm more likely to see your comments. Check it out. If you want to support the channel, you don't feel like you have to, because I'm gonna get to all the comments I can anyways. But these ones just stick out to me a little bit better. Check out the memberships down below. He says, "Did anybody see the article on Corvette Blogger about the Z06 posting the fastest time on the Nurburgring in 2024?" We did. Actually, before we go into that, here's Professor Corvette showing the custom emojis. Look at that. We got a Corvette emblem, a ZR1, me doing a hard think, and the HPO logo. I'm gonna continue to add to them as well. So, yeah. So anyway, did we see the fact that the Z06 was going to be the fastest on the Nurburgring? I don't think they've put out any times yet, but let me check just to make sure. I know that they are about to. Yeah, they haven't put anything out yet. But somebody actually is over there racing the C8 Z06 right now, and they're going to give us a Nürburgring time, and they have hinted at the fact that it's going to be very good. It's going to be a really, really awesome time that we get. If I had to guess, we're looking at less than 6 minutes and 50 seconds on the Nürburgring. Now, I can't hear you guys, so you're probably going to have to leave and come back in, since I think you got a phone call or something. So David and Brandon are going to jump out of here and come right back because no, I still can't hear you. But they'll be back in a second. Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be a sub 7, Devin. Paul, you're pretty close, I bet. I think it's going to be actually under 650. I think it's going to be like 649, and yes, it is fast as F. It really is. That is an incredibly fast car. The segmented time that Jim Merrow was able to get with the C7 ZR1 was, I believe, 6 minutes and 57 seconds. And even that is an incredibly fast time. So let me see if they're back here now. Yeah, I can hear you.
Boom.
Boom.
Okay, cool.
All right. So, yeah. So, guys, what you missed was the Z06 is over at the Nürburgring. I can't remember who it is that's driving it, but they're like a race car driver. So they're over there trying to get a time. And I have a feeling, just gut-wise, it's going to be around 6 minutes, 49 seconds. I think it's going to be right under 650.
That's smoking.
That is an incredibly fast car. Now, imagine this. Imagine that with 400 more horsepower. So, like, if
And
the
better
Z06 gets
Yeah.
650 or 649, what does the ZR1 get?
Well, did you see where NBA Live put? He thinks, what if it's faster than the GTD, or do you think it'll be faster than the GTD? I think it's
Yeah.
going to be very competitive.
I
Yeah,
think it's going to be faster
100%.
than the GTD. I think the GTD is going to come out because they haven't given us a time yet. They just keep saying sub 7. I think it's going to come out and it's going to be right around where the C7 ZR1 segmented at, which was, like I just said, 6 minutes and 57 seconds. I think it's going to be right around there, 6 minutes 50 something. And
That's pretty good.
the reason I think that is because the weight of the car, the setup of the car, the look of the car, where the engine's placed, everything about the car is very similar to the C7 ZR1. So
Right.
I think it's going to come out with a time very similar to the ZR1, and I think the C8 Z06 is going to be faster than that. It almost has to be.
What's the weight of the GTD? Isn't it pretty light too? Like in the weight, at least a little bit lighter than the Z06. Isn't it like low 3,000s?
I wanted to say the last I saw, I'm pretty sure it's 3,500, but I could be wrong about
Okay,
that.
that sounds about
I was
right.
gonna say like 34, 35 is what I heard. Yeah.
Mustang GTD Curve Weight. I'm not seeing anything. Right.
Well, and Misha, when Misha ran his Nurburgring lap in the Z06, he was calling it a cheat code. He's like, this thing is insanely good.
Yep.
So I'm
And
sure it'll drop
he
ridiculous.
he was the one that said initially, like, there's no doubt this is a sub 7 minute car.
right,
Now,
right.
The
And
person that's running it now, apparently, from what I've read, sounds like it's either a closed down track or he was the only one on the track at one point. So he is very likely to give us our best example of the Nurburgring time for the Z06.
yeah, if he had a clear track, yeah.
How's he still alive? 'Cause, I mean, he was taking. I was watching a video the other day. He was taking a track hawk around the Nurburgring, just destroying people. And this is other people's cars. Like he has no idea. I'm sure he like looks them over, but well, you know, you don't know how cars are built. It's someone else's quality of build, and
Or
you're taking
trust that person in front of you.
and you're pushing that car that hard on that track. I mean, I don't know. He's got way more balls than I do. That's for sure.
Yeah, Paul Junker says a pro driver is going to kick some butt in the C8 Z06. And that's the thing. It's like, if you get in there and you have any idea what you're doing, that car is very capable. Just like you guys are noticing now at Ron Fellows. Like, that car is a scalpel. And if you know how to be precise with it, it is going to absolutely carve up the track.
Oh, it is a weapon. It is amazing. Like you said earlier, we all said at the beginning, you think you're fast.
Yeah.
Until you get out there.
Dude,
and
it's not even
the instructors are just like,
it's not
oh,
even
you're
just
like,
that you think you're
I got him.
fast.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah.
There she goes.
And it's
Oh,
not like one instructor. It's like
every one of them. They're all.
It's not even that
and
you
they
think
can
you're
talk.
fast.
They can drink coffee and smoke you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just that
they're
you
like,
think you're fast. It's they know everything and you know nothing. Like, you think you know stuff.
And he's at the back. He's at the back in the beginning of the video. He's like three cars back, and she's like, Brandon, you were a little late on that turn in there. I was like, he's at the back. How did you see this? Like, and I can't catch her.
Yeah.
Like, and then we did our little swap on the straightaway, and I was slingshot engaged into the camera, and here comes Brandon blasting by. It was awesome.
Yeah, Mr. T actually says he's driven on the ring and it's a scary track. I've heard the same thing. The ring is not, like, we use the ring as a good example of how fast a car is, but the ring is not like a track you just go to and leisurely drive around. Like, that thing is deadly.
Well, even tracks like this where there's tons of runoff and it's a pretty open track is scary when you're going that fast.
Yeah.
And the ring is faster, longer, narrower, no runoff.
6-7 times longer.
Hills and all that stuff. Like, if you go off the track at Ron Fellows, I mean, it's unlikely you're going to die. You go off the track at the Nurburgring, and the odds are way better you're going to get killed going off that track.
And they're going to bill your family for the damage to the track. They do.
What's up, General? Thanks for tuning in, man.
Yeah, hey, Generally.
Austin says they call it the green hell for a reason. So, be mindful of that, guys. We're going to have that video or that information, and I'll probably turn it into a video coming soon with the C8 Z06, and we're going to get a number. And odds are good; it's going to be pretty impressive. I don't understand why GM didn't ever give us a number. I'm starting to believe that they're going over to the Nurburgring, they're not really there at the Nurburgring for a time. They're there for other purposes. And what that may be, I don't know. But it's like
I agree.
They never give us a time.
Like
so
heating and all that kind of stuff.
Over there.
Because if you can survive a 7-minute, lap, at balls to the ball.
Yeah, all out.
Yeah. So then the cars should be good, you know.
Yeah. Well, and again, too, like they don't even have to post them anymore. I mean, the lightning lap, car and driver does it. Yeah. Everybody else is doing it, and they're putting out ridiculous times. But yeah, I'm with you guys. I think it's just testing and beating on the cars in an environment you will never ever push it yourself.
So interestingly enough, Amber just asked, why are some of the screen names green? So this is going to bring me back to my
There's the members.
this is going to bring me back to my memberships again. Professor
Yeah.
Corvette is a member. Seawolf Z06 is a member. Steven Rapp is a member. Professor Austin is a member, and I think there's 6 altogether so far. I haven't really pushed this idea. I didn't even really think it through, to be honest with you. But now that I'm seeing it happening, the most expensive membership for the month, I believe, is $24 or something. And if I can get enough members into that particular one, we will do one special live video a month. And I'm still kind of figuring out what that might be. But I think what I'm going to do is a lot of editing on behind the scenes footage. The video I filmed with the C8 and the C7 Z06, I have a ton of behind the scenes footage of that video that is actually hilarious, and I didn't even mean to do. But I'm thinking I might be able to do something like that where I just literally play these videos and it's only going to be for the members. So if you guys are interested in supporting the channel and also want to get some content that's not everybody else is going to get, check out the memberships. It definitely helps, and like I said, it helps me see your comments in here too, because they light up a different color for me.
Nice. I like your idea though of doing the behind the scenes stuff for if you can get around on the top tier. That's a really good idea.
I agree. I think it brings more of like a natural feel to it. You know, like this isn't all professional. Like I try to make the channel as professional as possible, but at the end of the day, I'm just a dude. Like I'm not a professional filmer guy. Like it may look like it is, but I'm not. Professor Corvette says top tier membership should include a 6-pack of Mountain Dew each month. I agree. I agree. Every time someone mentions Mountain Dew, I'm taking a sip.
There you go. Yeah, no, and Bill Miller was saying about the one instructor that he had. It was a younger, like red-haired girl. We saw her, Bill, but we didn't get her. But the one lady, Star,
yeah.
Star
That's who we had today.
She was the leader of our track stuff. That none of us could catch her either.
Yeah.
And there was a guy that was laying down some lap times he was disappointed with them for his first day. We're like, what are you, crazy, man? This is way faster than us. But he has a membership at some auto club that has their own track, and he still couldn't catch her. And she's like, Brandon and David, we'll be right back. And they were gone. Just run your own, be smooth, we'll catch up with you.
All right, guys, we have almost 200 people in here watching, and we only have 124 thumbs up. So if you guys could please smash the thumbs up button, let me know you're liking the content so we can keep doing this kind of stuff. I really like having Brandon and David on here. I feel like it turns out to be more of a car guy interaction stuff. So let them know that you like having them on here too by smashing those thumbs ups. Because I look through
guys, we're your Ron Fellows on for you guys, man.
I look through all these videos after the fact, and I do my research. I see which videos get more thumbs up, which videos get more views, and we try to maintain that kind of thing moving forward. So help us out by letting us know what videos you really like so we can make more of that for you. Thumbs ups really helps. Prosperity says, anybody buying the ZR1? I am going to if the price is right. I have a allocation at MSRP, and I will get one if the price is right. What were you going to say, Brandon?
Same here. I'm in the same boat, man. Same boat.
Hey, did you hear about that new Hoosier tire that's coming out? It's not available in our size yet for the Z06, but it's supposed to be like in a year. That 200 treadwear Hoosier race tire is supposed to be competitor with the Cup 2R.
Good. I just had somebody email me about the Cup 2Rs, actually. They were wondering if there's, as of right now, for the C8 Z06, there's no other tire you can really fit on the stock wheels. You either get the Sport Cup 2Rs or you get the Sport 4Ss. That's it. Now, there is supposed to be a PS5 coming out. And I thought it was already out, but apparently even that is not available in the size for the C8 Z06.
I'm not sure if this Hoosier is going to be as good as the Cup 2R. I mean, it's a 200 treadwear versus a 180 on the Cup 2R, so it makes me wonder if, like, is it going to be better? But at least it'll be an option, another option to probably cheaper.
It will be pretty close. It may be better because the Sport Cup 2R is really like it's a crazy tire. I mean, even the Sport Cup 2 that I have on my ZR1, like at best, I get 7,000 miles out of those tires before they're gone. Like,
yeah,
that's it. So it is an incredibly soft compound. But even then, if you're driving under 80 degrees, you're not getting any traction. None. So you have to have a pretty hot day, which of course kills the ZR1 because it's a supercharger. And if it's not a hot day, it doesn't matter. You could be putting out all the power you want. It's not getting to the ground because you're just spinning.
I wonder if that's why they chose the 200, so it's a little bit more life, so that maybe that would bring buyers to it, because you might get 8,000 miles instead of like 7 or 6,000 miles.
That adds up.
And maybe that's why they chose that.
That adds up.
Yep. General Lee says, I'm good with being the ZR1's little brother. I'll leave the ZR1 for ballers like you guys. Yeah. See, I'm not against that either, General. I'll be honest with you. Like, if the ZR1 comes out and it's too expensive, I will not cry myself to sleep on a Z06, because that car is still a fantastic automobile. So
Amazing.
I'm not going to worry too much about it, but I will do my best to get one, assuming the price is right.
Yep.
Somebody asked a question here. I wanted to. Austin says, are you going to check the Zora box if applicable? That's a good question. Me and David actually talked about this. I don't think I would. I don't think I would either. Because number one, it's going to add more weight, and number two, it takes away from the, we'll say, the fun of a rear-wheel drive car. So I personally don't think I would check that box.
Well, and Harold brings up a good point. Toyo does have a tire now that fits our car.
Is that the 355 one? There's a 355, some weird brand. I didn't think it was Toyo.
Toyo
makes that one.
now. Yeah, they have one now, because I saw that one. I don't think it's not as soft a compound. It's like a middle of the road, but
I think it's a 355. If it's the Toyo, I don't remember if it's Toyo or some other brand. There's another.
The actual size of the tires, like stock size, 275 and 345.
No, it's not just stock size. The one I'm talking about is like a 355.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger, but yeah, but the regular, it'll fit your stock wheels though.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I've got a set of Cup 2Rs for when my my Forge Light wheels come in that Gordon hooked me up with, who was supposed to be here this week. And Gordon, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. I guess he has to have surgery on his sinuses or something, and he got here and was like really tore up and had to go home. And so, but I hope you're feeling better. They're actually, they say they won't, but they're actually helping him out get into another class and just moving it over, I guess, because they got more spots. But I hope you're feeling better, buddy. We were actually looking forward to meeting him, but he had to go home.
So Professor Corvette says, Justin, will you take any parts off your Z06 to put on your new ZR1? Yes and no. So the way I'm going to do this is, I have somebody, one of my subscribers actually, who wants to buy my Z06, and he's going to basically pay what I'm asking for the car, which is going to be more than MSRP, because I'm leaving all of the parts on it. You're going to get about $60,000 worth of parts for basically for free, because I mean the price I'm asking for the car is not much more than MSRP. So with that said, what I would do then is get a ZR1 and do almost all of the same mods again, because I really like the way my C8 Z06 is set up right now. So I would ultimately do a lot of the same stuff again. Maybe with
when you keep the wheels, I would keep the wheels if you could, but I mean, I guess you've already got it worked out. But you just swap those wheels right over.
I'm going to send the wheels too, because I'll end up getting another set with something different on them.
Yeah.
Get the magnesium ones, even
if they have them by then, man, I'm so unbelievably pumped for the idea of magnesium wheels. It's not even funny. So
I know when I talked to Josh,
if they have them,
I was like, "Oh man,
who's doing them? I didn't even know who's making them for."
Fortunately, the same people that make his.
They make them now, but they just don't have a mold that's deep enough to make them for the Z06.
Right.
So how much do they think it is going to run when they do make them? Do they get a price point like 10 grand or?
Yeah.
10, which that's still it's a pretty decent price point.
Significantly cheaper than most people sell magnesium wheels for. And not only that, magnesium, the wheel setup for the Z06 in magnesium is likely to be the same, if not lighter, than the carbon fiber wheels from the C8.
So they can sub 20 pounds, you think, or around 20 pounds? For the rears? Yeah. Wow.
And the fronts will probably be sub 15.
Wow. That, I mean, for 10 grand, that seems like that'd be a bargain.
Yep. Well, it is.
And can you paint? I can't remember. Can you paint the magnesium? Or they got to be the magnesium color. You can.
They would be. I already looked at it. The design, the color, the engravings, everything would be identical. Only they'd be made out of magnesium.
You know, they changed the offset a little bit on it. It's a few millimeters, but to the eye, you'll never see it on yours. Because when I was talking to Josh about it, and it was just like the evolution of the design.
Mine was basically the very first set ever put on a C8.
That's what he said.
So they could still, there was still a little bit of manipulation. The fronts are now 2 millimeters more, and the rears are also 2 millimeters more.
Right.
The difference is so subtle, because I mean, everybody that sees mine, they're like, man, those wheels fit perfectly. You can actually get them a hair better. So yeah, they're the ones shipping now are even tighter. Wolf Z06 says, absolutely love what you've done with your Z06, Justin. I appreciate that. Yeah, all new videos for ZR1 mods. Meanwhile, a lot of it will be the same stuff. Look at the emoji, man. I love that. I threw that emoji in there as a freaking joke, and people were using it. It's literally me going like this, like I'm thinking.
Well, and Omid was asking Justin for your sign up for the memberships. It's in the description.
Yeah, Omid. I don't really know. I don't know if they gave me a link for this. I'm actually gonna check because there might be a direct link that I can send out. I haven't really pushed it because I don't love the idea of begging for somebody to sign up to a membership on a channel that they can already see for free. But there are benefits, and it does help support the channel. So I don't want to beg for it, but at the same time, I do want to make people aware that it does exist because it is a pretty cool thing. And I'm going to continuously add new emojis to it and stuff. Like I'm going to get an emoji of David and Brandon doing something dumb. And like this is gonna be.
It doesn't take much.
You need a frog
gonna
one.
be it.
You
Yeah.
need a frog.
You need a frog.
Oh yeah, dude. Let's get the frog. I'll get the frog
That's an easy one.
logo.
That's an
Yeah,
easy one.
that's easy.
But it doesn't take much to catch us doing something dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Paul Yunker says all you gotta do is click the join box. Should be right below the video actually, and then you could choose. There's 3 different groups, and if we get enough people in the most expensive group, I think is $25, $24 or $25. If we get enough people in that group, I'm gonna do a special live video once a month that we'll do some behind the scenes and some stuff that's totally off the cuff. So if that's something you're interested in, check that out. And it does, like I said, it helps the channel, and we'll continuously improve it as time goes on.
You want to share about the possible spacers for the carbon wheels?
oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not anything that's going to be mass producing. But there's a guy that reached out to me. He's an engineer. He's actually doing spacers now for the carbon fiber wheels because again the barrel's different, the hubs there. So he's actually doing those because we were even looking at the carbon fiber cars at the track today, and
like
that offset is horrible.
See,
horrible.
the biggest problem with that, one of the first people I know, and actually he's on the chat a lot. His name's Doug. You guys met Doug at Carlisle, right?
Yeah,
He was one of the first ones with a Z06 to put wheel spacers on it, and actually he may have been the first because his car came in so early. He got a Z06 non-Z07 package with the carbon fiber wheels. They told him right off the bat, listen, we can put spacers on this, but we got to knock out the studs because the studs need to be longer for the spacers on the carbon fiber wheels. So they had to knock out the studs, increase them by, I think, 20 millimeters to put a 20 millimeter spacer on it. And then they could, he had them perfectly flush, and I have pictures somewhere, but perfectly flush on the rear with, I believe, 20 millimeter. And then on the front was like 7 or 8 to get them perfectly flush.
right. Yeah, but not many people making them for that. So this guy's
Well, even the titanium part.
Well,
and
and
you're not
he's
adding
doing
the
it-
weight too.
and he's doing it, and this guy's doing them out of titanium
So you're not adding
that's
all that
cool.
extra weight of the
Yeah.
aluminum.
because he figured if you've got carbon fiber wheels,
You're not
You
gonna
got
want
the
that
money.
extra
yeah,
So do the spacer in carbon or in titanium, and then do the lug nuts in titanium as well. I know Jeremy has the
That's what
carbon
he has.
fiber wheel set up, and he got the titanium lug nuts after I made a video on them. I've never been. There's very little things that excite me as much as titanium lug nuts. I don't get it, but I am absolutely over
It's
the moon
enough. It's a
that
big
you save
difference.
2.5 pounds off of a freaking nut that holds your wheel to the car. Like it's
Justin,
insane.
Well, you should find the size of the undercarriage bolts, especially those E-Torx ones, and find those and get those in titanium and sell those things. I mean, I would be
There's
all
like
about
50
putting
of them.
and what I want to do is I want to take all those bolts. I think they're excessive. First of all, I want to take every other bolt underneath the undercarriage and
take
pull it off,
Yeah.
and then replace all the other ones with titanium and see how much weight you can save. I bet you save like 3 or 4 pounds.
Easy.
Well, I sourced the titanium bolts, and I haven't made a video on this yet, but you guys, again, you get to hear this early on the live stuff. I sourced titanium bolts for holding the Z07 wing to the car because the stock bolts from GM are stainless steel and they're bright silver on a otherwise black/gray carbon fiber. It looks horrible. So I found black titanium bolts that are the same size with a bigger head that fits better in there, and it looks awesome. Saves weight. Stainless is heavy.
Yeah,
Saves weight. Then I also sourced them for the carbon fiber plaque on the intake to hold the carbon fiber plaque on there. Carbon fiber, the plaque that who built your engine. It will hold that on there, and then the holes right below it, I filled those in too with titanium. The problem is these titanium bolts are roughly $10 for 4 of them.
A piece.
No, for
Yeah,
4. So
Oh,
even
for 4?
that though
Okay.
is pretty. That's like that's a little over $3 each, and it's like that's expensive. Now, to do what you're saying,
But if you've been to Ace
Brandon,
Hardware, go buy a bolt at Ace Hardware. Like if you buy a bolt that, like if you live near an Ace, they're like $3 just for
Yeah.
because the upcharge.
Yep.
That's not that unreasonable.
no, it's
is
not.
all
It's
I'm
not that
saying.
unreasonable. But if you're buying in bulk,
Yeah.
you can get a much cheaper price. Like a big dealership could anyway. But like the bolts that I'm talking about, those stainless steel bolts, and I'll talk about this in a future video. The stainless steel bolts that hold the Z07 wing to the car are $72 each.
What?
Each.
It's because it's got the special head on it for the
Yes.
lock piece.
It's not even a
Oh
special
my
hit. It's just a
gosh.
security Torx bit. You can get them on eBay or on Amazon. So each bolt is $72, and I was like, I just went and bought the titanium ones for $10 for 4, and I was done.
Oh yeah,
Right.
a better bolt. Yeah,
It's
stronger,
a better bolt. It's a lighter
lighter.
bolt. It won't ever rust. It won't ever look like crap. Plus, it's black, so it blends in. Like it just it makes more sense.
Yep.
Seawolf Z06 said
100%.
one of the first mods he was putting on his Z06 was the 15mm spacers after the titanium lug nuts that you recommended, Justin. Yeah, those titanium lug nuts. I tell you what, it's just like it's incredible how cool those are.
Well, that was it. Brandon had a set of spacers.
I still have a set. If somebody comment needs a set, I'll give it to you cheap. Just comment on there. I've got a set of rear. They're 20s actually.
20s, yeah.
20 millimeters.
We had them. We had a set of 4. We drove home from Bowling Green. First thing we did, throw our cars on the lift, put the spacers on. First thing we did. But he's going to have his spacers, and then when I get my 4-site wheels, I'll have a set of just regular Paragon 20 millimeters if anybody wants them. Yeah, but I'm excited to see it because his is also coming out with extended. The guy with the engineer guy that's going to have extended titanium lug nuts as well. So it'll be a titanium spacer with that, and then he'll have extended lugs, It's all going to be titanium. It's going to be awesome, man.
That is going to be awesome, but that is also going to be.
We did the same motion.
Yeah, we did. I love it. This is why we get along so well in these live videos.
I know.
We have the same brain. Professor Corvette actually asked, he said, can't they make carbon fiber lug nuts? And honestly, I guess not, because I don't think I know anybody making a carbon fiber lug nut. But honestly, the titanium ones are already so light, I don't know that you'd save much more weight.
And if F1's not doing
Yeah.
carbon fiber lug nuts, ain't nobody doing carbon fiber
Well,
lug nuts.
Robert Brunn says you save weight in grams. Grams add up to pounds. The titanium lug nuts on the C8 save 2.5 pounds off of unsprung weight.
rotating mass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's like,
rotating mass.
that's an incredible amount of weight for a freaking lug nut.
Yeah.
I was so pumped whenever I put those on the scale. I was like, no, there's no way. I read that wrong. I had to have read that wrong. So I reweighed those things like 10 times. I was like, how is it possible I'm saving 2.5 pounds off a freaking lug nut?
Yep. And if anybody doubts rotational mass, watch the videos before he's got
yeah.
ported throttle license where we're racing and he just slow walks me because he's got lightweight wheels.
Yeah.
Rotational mass is where you got to get rid of it.
Soon that's not going to be the case anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody actually, Professor Corvette said for the memberships, I'm gonna start working on these actually tonight. We need a Mountain Dew icon, a frog icon, turtle icon, and maybe an HPO pit crew icon. David, we already have some of those.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
can
get
send
working
you
on
some.
those tonight. That is a great idea. So again, guys, if you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the memberships. Actually, we just got one. Squirrel Cage Garage joined.
Hey, Squirrel Cage.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate that. So he is now able to use these awesome emojis, and I'm going to keep adding to them. We're going to keep doing the membership thing. I'm going to try to make it better and better for everybody. So now I have 7 members. There it is.
Actually, I need to join. I'll join when we get off here. I can't do it while I'm on here, but.
And also, I'm going to have to get crazy pictures of YouTube because I want pictures like of us as emojis as well. So go take a picture of yourself doing something really stupid. Let's do this thing. Let's do it. We might as well.
I may still have the one where I was like, hey, send me a selfie so we can see if we can get like a caricature outline. And Brandon's face was like,
yeah. He's like, I want my
that might
character
be
to
the
look
one
like
I'll
an
find
idiot.
and send to you. No, yours is normal.
Yeah.
Yours looks cool. But the one he sent me as a joke, I was like,
Yeah.
I laugh, and now it probably work.
That probably would work, actually. I'm going to have to look through my messages, see if I can find that again. That will be your emoji, Brandon. Professor Corvette says, are 5 lug nuts really necessary? Just leave 2 or 3 off each wheel.
I mean, I've run 4 before.
I was gonna say,
I would recommend it.
I've run 4
I
before.
can't remember why. There was a reason why I did. It wasn't intentional. It's like I was short or something. But
Yeah, I think mine was the same thing. Like, or I stripped one or broke one.
yeah, something
Oh,
happened.
I know. I broke an actual lug.
Stud.
Yeah, I broke a stud, and then I was like, So I went ahead and ran it on 4. Not recommended.
Yeah,
Anybody watching?
Not everybody do.
Please don't do that. But I have done that. That was back in the days where Brandon was hanging out the T-top, spraying the nitrous with his shirt off or whatever else.
Mark Cutsy says this is one time when having lighter nuts will benefit you.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. The comments in here, man, they never get boring.
Never.
Anyway, guys, if you haven't yet, please smash the thumbs up button. We're about 140 thumbs ups. We need Mo. But Red C8 Z06 says pictures in Speedos. I'll leave that up to Brandon and David. Nobody wants to see that on me, but
Nah, I'm good.
thumbs up.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see.
No, it's not that nobody wants to see it. Brandon charges for that. Like,
Yes. Yes.
I've seen his OnlyFans. It's expensive.
It is.
All
The
right,
one where
guys.
he's got the giant nitrous bottle in between his legs, just covering his...
Oh, is that? I thought that was something else.
No, it was nitrous.
You saw that?
I can't.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
It's never a dull moment with these guys. So, guys, we're gonna let Brandon and David go. So we're gonna wrap this thing up. They're in Vegas. They want to go have some fun. We will obviously stay tuned for their videos. I'm sure they're making some videos of Wrong Fellows. I made one too.
Yep.
But
And I will say,
it never made it.
stay tuned as well. What we're doing with this guy's car coming up, you guys are not going to want to miss. We're putting some power adders on it, and we're going to go deep. That we are
We're
going
gonna go big or go home.
Going to go big. You guys do not want to miss this
They're
stuff.
gonna go
I'm
big or
telling you.
blow an engine.
Yeah, or transmission.
Or transmission.
I don't know which one's worse.
Now it's probably the transmission.
I don't know. I mean, it's a little
25
cheaper.
large.
Well, the motor's
Yeah, that is a great question.
They're
Actually,
both
I
bad.
would not want to blow up either one of those two. So,
Or I would definitely don't want to blow both. That would be really.
It'll be a GoFundMe project after
Brandon,
that.
We're both gonna really
think
put
you're
me in a
literally
bind.
predicting the future at this point. Like you're gonna.
Hey, I'll
after
learn how to build whatever I blow, so I'm gonna figure out how to build it back.
After
so.
our track
That's
day,
true.
I'm going to start a GoFundMe for Brandon.
I have my fingers crossed for you, man. I really don't want to see you blow anything up, but I have a weird feeling that something's gonna blow up. So
I might the clutches or something, but I don't think I'm gonna blow the motor. I think motor's gonna be solid. I think trans is where I might have issues.
And it'll be in October. I know we got a couple of people that we talk to that are, close, Tim in Dawsonville, Sam, he's up there too. Jeremy. When we do track day, I'll give you guys email me. I'll give you the details. If you want it, you can come on up and you can hang out. If you want to run, you can run your car. We'll have the track rent for, just private rental. So
George, yeah, just come have fun. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
just
a
have
good
fun.
day. It's a weekday.
I don't even
Get the
know
whole
if Jeremy
track.
has a car. I mean, I've never seen it, and he doesn't live that far from us. So,
Come on, Jeremy.
come on, Jeremy.
all right, guys. So Professor Corvette says, "Do not stop being obsessed." I like it. Seawolf
I like
says,
that
"Thanks for another entertaining and informative evening, guys." And Amber, she was on the chat.
You're welcome, Steve.
Bill Miller says, "Click on the green membership button on the top of the chat. You'll have the option to join." Guys, again, I appreciate any of the support. And we're going to go ahead and sign off here. Let David and Brandon get back to their Vegas shenanigans. And we'll see you guys same time, same place next Monday night.
Thanks, everybody.
See you, everybody.
See ya.